Steve Post here from Motor Racing Network at the Racing Electronics display at PRI, and we are talking Hoosier Heroes. Young racer out of the great state of Texas has a great story. Chris Morris joins us. Hey man, how are you?
I'm great, how are you?
We are doing well. Everything is really good here. I just think your story is amazing. And in 2014, you're a motocross racer, and you have an accident, and you end up in the wheelchair. But boy, I would dare say since then you didn't let that slow your racing down.
Oh, for sure. Didn't. It's you kind of have a choice. You can either take the blow and get back up and keep going, or you can lay there. And we chose to get up and keep going. And thankfully had some friends that invited us out to come watch the races, and kind of, first race we were kind of like, I think we can make one of these cars work for where I could race it. So we were there every weekend after that, and traded a dirt bike for an old 08 Larson was my first car, and that was what we learned in. And then we went to a cam car about a year and a half after that, ran that a couple years, and then we're like, man, we need something just a little bit better. And so we found Lethal Chassis and David Strimmy, and they've been a huge help to our success. And I think we're sitting close to 50 wins in about a 5-year span of when we got our first win.
Wow, that is so exciting. I want to go back. I want to go back to you find this four-wheel racing. How did you sell it to mom? And you're a family team. How did you sell that to mom?
Oh, mom and dad were on board from the get-go, because they were, you see some guys that kind of do some of the adaptive riding on dirt bikes, and they were like, no, that's out the window. There's no chance of that. So I was like, well, 4 wheels in a cage, you'll probably be pretty easy to convince them. And dad was on board right away, and mom was on board, but kind of, I think the first race she had never been to the track until the first race. So she walks up the backside of 1 and 2, and she looks at the race. She's like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? But I think after the first couple of races, she was fine with it.
I love that. I absolutely do. So you're stepping up in class. You're stepping up in class. You mentioned Lethal Chassis, and Ashley Stremme is my co-host on Wing Nation, and David Stremme. And actually, it's so interesting because I remember years ago, Ashley was showing me pictures of developing a car. Didn't realize it was for you. I didn't realize that we'd be sitting here. You're a Hoosier Hero. But what was it like working to try to build a unique car for yourself, yet staying within the rules and all the other things you needed to do?
We pretty much, me and dad had it figured out at the shop, and all David did was he took our design and make it a little bit more compact, a little more efficient. And we actually, when our first car was being built, when it was a bare chassis, we went up there, put our seat in it, and we actually went through it with him, and that's kind of how we developed the controls with him. So it was kind of a group effort there, and so then he welded everything in, and now he just got it all in a notebook. So whenever we want a car, he's got it all there to put it all together.
Ashley shared with me, I was texting her this morning when I knew you were coming on and knew the story, and she texted me and she said, in the history of Lethal Chassis, one of their greatest moments were when you called them or texted them and said you got that first win, because it meant so much. And that had to be so rewarding for you to get back to winning races and doing what you wanted to do as a motocross racer as well. What was that like, not only to get back to a race car, but getting back to being a winning race car driver?
It was definitely a flood of emotions that night. We knew we'd had a fast car. We'd been close to winning a few times before that, and to finally click that one off, and to know that I still had that ability to do that and be a winner, it was very emotional. There was a lot of tears shed that night of excitement, of course, and I was glad that my whole family was able to be there. My mom, my dad, and then my twin sister that was there as well.
Okay, so you mentioned your twin sister. She's a racer also, right?
Yes, she is, and dad too. Dad started racing. He got him a stock car towards the end of last year, so now it's mom's got to pick who she wants to cheer for when we're out there, and she won't quite tell us who she cheers for most.
You got this backward. You usually pass it down a generation. You're passing it up a generation. I think that's cool that the old man's racing. Really, really neat. And you run the dirt tracks around Central Texas, is that right?
Yeah, it's where we mostly run. Kind of all over Texas. Central and North is where we're most at. But we typically get out of state once or twice a year. Sometimes I think we're going to try and do a little more out of state racing this year, possibly.
Really fun stuff, that is for sure. We're going to do a mystery question for you. All right, reach in there and grab your question out. All right, what's the question here?
What's the last movie you watched?
All right.
I got to think. It was on the plane here, and I watched. What was the movie? I watched Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. All right, there we go. On the plane, plane ride movie. That's where I watch all my movies, is on the plane too. That is cool. That really shows. What has it been like to be a Hoosier Hero?
Oh, it's been awesome. It's definitely a great honor, and super pumped to be part of it. And hopefully we can have a good year next year.
2026, Hoosier Hero. Really, really cool. Chris, great meeting you. Appreciate the time. Thanks for swinging by.
Yeah, thank you.
Chris Morris, representing the state of Texas well here at the PRI show, Racing Electronics here at Indianapolis.